Hello? Oh, great. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, sir. And on that note, His Excellency, the Honorable Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali, President of our beautiful country, Mr. Lars Mangal, CEO of Total Tech Group, Dr. Peter Ramsar, CEO of Guyanese, other special invitees, business leaders, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this afternoon's celebration of the opening of SOMA Dreams Hotel. A few months ago, I met Mr. Mangal at another event, and he mentioned to me that he was working to open a hotel, and I thought to myself, what does this man know about hotels? Like, he's already successful, he's already well known, he obviously doesn't need to do something else. But that's the beauty about business. You can't be one-directional these days. You have to learn to pivot. And the businessmen who will outlast time and leave legacy for generations to come will be the ones like Mr. Mangal, who recognize when the time is opportune to pivot, when the market conditions demand that you take calculated risks. And I am certain that he calculated a lot when he took this risk. I asked about the inspiration for the name, and he told me it was inspired by the names of his daughters that I now call So1 and So2. And that's another very interesting thing. It's how do you create lasting generational wealth? And so today I really want to celebrate Mr. Mangal and his family, his commitment to people, because I know he's a consummate professional and he loves people. And I think today the realization of this vision is his testimony to his belief in people, because you know when you invest in hotels, it's all about people, it's all about service. And his commitment to the development of this country, and as well to leaving something for his children and their children and their children to be inspired by. With that in mind, I would like to invite Mr. Mangal to deliver for us a few remarks and probably give us a history as to just exactly what was the thought process behind SOMA Dream. Mr. Mangal, please.
Excellency, pardon me, Master Ceremonies. Your Excellency, Mohamed Irfaan Ali, President of the Cooperative of the Republic of Guyana, honorable ministers, distinguished guests, industry partners, friends, members of the Total Tech family, and my two daughters who have joined me here. Good afternoon and welcome. All protocols observed. It is an honor and a proud moment for all of us to be gathered here today as we officially open the SOMA Hotel and Restaurant, a project conceived under the Total Tech Group of companies and one that represents a new dimension of our commitment to nation building and to achieving Guyana. I must say that when I took a few people around this project in the last couple of weeks to show them that we were getting there and almost open, they said this looks a little bit like we're in Texas. I said, well, as a matter of fact, you are in Texas. This is Houston, Greater Georgetown. So, yes, it does has that Texas vibe to it. And I think with the architecture and the finishing at the front, it does look like you're down a boulevard somewhere in Texas. Well known for its oil field history, and namely, Houston, Texas, Houston, Greater Georgetown. Now a hub in the oil and gas industry, internationally known. When we first imagined SOMA, we wanted to create more than a hotel or a restaurant. We wanted to build a place, a purpose, a place that supports Guyana's most important industrial zones. This is one of the key zones of development in the country. And there are many more to come, and there are many more in progress and being built. And I commend His Excellency for an outstanding victory in the 1st of September election, and his vision and the commitment that he's had to bringing on major infrastructure projects in the country that we see and have been progressed, most recently with the new Demerara Bridge, named after the Vice President and leader of the party in power. Thank you. Thank you, Excellency, for that one. A round of applause, please. Tremendous achievement for Guyana. Thank you. The Houston Operations and Maritime Logistics Hub that you see here today is serving a growing offshore oil and gas sector in Guyana, but also a place that embodies warmth, quality, and a unique spirit of hospitality in Guyana. The SOMA name holds deeply personal meaning for me, as dear Anita mentioned. It derived from my daughter's first name and last names. To me, it represents family, legacy, to long-term growth of our nation. The first phase of SOMA will create 60 to 100 direct and indirect jobs for Guyanese men and women. From the front desk staff to the chefs, to the maintenance technicians, to the service teams, and to the managers, this project is creating a genuine opportunity for professional growth, training, and leadership development for Guyanese. It also provides a platform for Guyanese suppliers, farmers, and service providers to participate in the sustainable value chain that we're creating and building here. As we look ahead, and we see SOMA not as a single project, but at the beginning of a larger vision, where affordable accommodation, efficient, high-quality accommodation, dining, hospitality become available across multiple key development zones throughout Guyana. From here in Houston to future opportunities in industrial coastal locations, we intend to scale the concept, bringing with it same standards of comfort, care, and service that our clients and guests deserve and expect. None of this would be possible without the collective effort and partnership of many. To our government, to the President, the Vice President, for creating an enabling environment that encourages private investment, local entrepreneurship, we thank you. To our partners, builders, suppliers, and those who work tirelessly to bring SOMA to life, we thank you for the trust and your craftsmanship. To the Total Tech team, whose passion, discipline, and commitment to local capacity building continue to define who we are, this achievement belongs to you all. Your Excellency, we're deeply honored by your presence here today to inaugurate SOMA, your leadership, and the unwavering vision for a modern, inclusive, and prosperous Guyana that continues to inspire and guide us in every investment that we make. Today, SOMA stands as a symbol of progress, demonstration of what private initiative, national collaboration, and Guyanese excellence can achieve together. It is also a promise that as our nation continues to rise, we will continue to build with purpose, integrity, and pride. On behalf of Total Tech Group and all those who contributed to this journey, and also, most importantly, this inauguration event, thank you and welcome to SOMA. Thank you.
Stage. But there is this delicate public-private. It's a dance. And I'm certain that Peter Ramsar, the CEO, sorry, let me get his title correctly. The Honorable Dr. Peter Ramsar, Member of Parliament and CEO of GoInvest, will agree with me that when people visit his office to talk about investments, he has to have that delicate balance in mind. And I'm certain that he will have words of wisdom for us as he comes to give us a few remarks. Dr. Ramsar?
Dr. Ali, our president, my president, all other protocols recognized. You know, as I thought through what to say today, something came to my mind. In 2030, 60 Minutes is interviewing our president, asking him a simple question. Was it a miracle that transformed Guyana in the last decade? What really happened? And in my mind, he would reply, no, it was not a miracle. It was a design vision built on democracy, accountability, and transparency. It was a vision with a plan, a measurable plan that we are seeing activated today. It was centered around people. It was centered around education. It was centered around healthcare. infrastructure, and the list goes on. And as he built out Guyana in the people-centered approach, and as investors look and follow the money, follow what government has done, this is a very good example. And what is so proud about this example, it's a local investment. So we have opened many, and most of them so far has been locally funded, locally owned. And that's one thing Guyana should be proud of. But as the interviewer continued, he would tell them that the fact that as you move the nation forward, as you invest in people, and as you invest in modernizing the infrastructure, we're building global dominance. We started out wanting to be a global leader in this region, a global leader around the world. We want to modernize our nation much more than the 21st century, but the 22nd century. We want to jump the curve. He speaks about knowledge economy. He speaks about digitization, all happening real time as we see it. So what happened in the last decade, in 2030, Mr. President, that made you so successful? And that will be his answer. There was a plan, a vision, a strategy, executable and delivered on every commitment that we have made as government and he has made as a president. And this is the example of one of the infrastructure, this compound that came early on in the investment when we found oil. And he will tell you one more thing. Oil is just a catalyst of investments in Guyana. Guyana is more than oil. We're modernizing our known industries in agriculture. We're modernizing our known industries across all sectors, and we're building new sectors. He will tell you about the AI, what's going to happen with Guyana and AI. We're talking about gas coming to shore. What more will that do to Guyana? Cheaper energy, moving into manufacturing. That is where the future of Guyana looks like. And in 2030, I will be hopefully hearing that interview by 60 Minutes and hearing the vision that has come true. And we should be proud that we are getting to see it real time. Thank you, Lars, for this investment. I believe it will bring value to this community right here. It's a captured crowd, it's a niche market, and we look forward to working closely with you in the near future again. Thank you very much. God bless.
So this song was a special request, so I hope you enjoy. Somebody say, oh, 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 eh, 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 in my life. Somebody say, oh, 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 eh, 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 in my life. You see me, as a man, love to play, love to jam. You see me, as a man, I always happy once money in my hand, and I don't have no time for no worries, don't have no time for no stressing. There I come out to wine, now I'm ready to go on the road. I come out to live my life, drink a rum and live my life. I'm the happiest man alive. I come out to live my life, play a mass and live my life. The happiest people alive. Somebody say, oh, 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 eh, 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 live my life. Somebody say, oh, 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 eh, 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 live my life. 'Cause the battle is the time when the girls, they come out to wine. Can they battle in the prime? All of the girls, them just roll up them this line. 'Cause we don't have no time for no worries. We don't have no time for no stressing. I got rum on the mind. Now I'm ready to go on the road. I come out to live my life, dance and live my life. I'm the happiest man alive. I come out to live my life. Live my life, drink home and live my life. I'm the happiest man alive. Somebody say, oh, 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 hey, 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 live my life. Somebody say, oh, 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 hey, 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 live my life. Oh, 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 hey, 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 live my life. Somebody say, oh, 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 hey, 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 live my life. Thank you.
Talented, let's just give him another round of applause. Put me on the spot by singing this Machel Montano song. I mean, I love it. You love it too. But I guess the way I could bring myself back from this is that local talent, international appeal. He did a really good job. It gives me great privilege to introduce to you our next speaker. Sometimes I think on the side I would never voice it, and I tell you today, sometimes I think he's very crazy. He has these like really big, bold dreams, and he wants a set of mad people that are willing to like be crazy like him, to dare to dream. And today he caught one in Mr. Mangal. He caught a couple more some weeks ago when he opened another hotel. But sometimes it's the insanity in people that sparks brilliance. It's the ones who are crazy enough to dream that it is possible when people think it isn't possible. And any great thing that happens anywhere often is as a result of visionary leadership, and that's exactly how I describe our president. Visionary, crazy enough, but also to hold people accountable to do what they say they will do. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all stand as we welcome His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali. All stand as we welcome His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali.
Thank you very much, Anita. You're crazy enough to give me a mic on this afternoon. Please have your seats. First of all, allow me on behalf of all of you to give thanks to God for allowing Lars to have another addition to his group of companies and his investment portfolio. To congratulate his family, being part of an extraordinary journey with an extraordinary man, and to thank all of you for sharing this moment. You know, I told my son I was going to open a hotel, and he said to me, "Dad, another one?" A poor chap one day would understand this phase of our development. There was one time when we were desperately trying to get one. This new generation that is coming is saying another one. That is how life and development is. Now, I am not here only because of this hotel. I'm here because of this community. A community that took the risk, embraced a vision, and worked relentlessly to build what we all see here today. Very, very quiet giants in this little community. One is Mr. Gafoor, sitting right here. We didn't have oil when he decided to put everything he has behind a hardware store that would take root in other islands in the Caribbean. Eddie Vera, another very silent giant of our country. Good people, strong people. All the leaders we see here who fuel the imagination and the thinking and the vision of what we see around us today. More than 500 acres of investment, hundreds of millions of US dollars of investment, mostly by our local private sector. That deserves a round of applause. You see, this beautiful hotel, SOMA, and I love the name, would not have even been imagined if the ecosystem here was not developed or built. Sometimes people ask me, why are you so happy? It is not because there is no reason to be sad or upset, but if we can't be happy with the people who are building our country, and if we can't come together when we're building our country and be supportive of each other and have a laugh at each other, then I don't know what we will build, because I've never seen anything good that was built on anger. So this journey of development would have the massive celebration, the medium-sized celebration, the small celebration, but more importantly, each of those celebrations is a grand acknowledgement and celebration of the totality of the vision and the totality of the development. None of us can survive without each of us. Mr. Gafoor would not have decided to rebuild an entire complex if he was not sure that these investments in the construction sector would continue to grow at the rapid pace at which it is growing. And for some people who don't understand the way the country is going to grow, I just want to give you a few lines. This is not about oil and gas. What we're going to be building by 2030 is the most amazing, outside of the box, imaginative, diversified, forward-looking economy the world has ever seen. We're going to leapfrog this country into unbelievable places. And we're going to do that with God on our side and with the people along the journey. And what do I say? And why do I say this? By 2027, many people do not realize we'll have 2 large gold mines moving to production in Guyana. Seeing gold production more than 1 million ounces annually. And I've been tracking the prices. And then, by the time you get up to 2029, 2030, the new exploration will definitely bring results. And by God's grace, it will continue to be good results for our country. We will then be ready to bring on shore our second pipeline that will bring a series of transformative investment at a different scale than Wales, far different scale than Wales. And accompanying all of that will be the built out of a world-class healthcare system second to none, world-class education system, world-class infrastructure, world-class food system that will be feeding the entire region, a climate economy that will be creating new revenue streams for our country, a level of digitization never seen before. Data centers to power our growth and power this region, contributing to data sovereignty in the region itself. Accelerated technological advancement. A more efficient government, because government must be efficient. A fair system that is less dependent on human biases, but more system-based. A tourism sector that is going to be blooming, presenting new and more opportunities. The country is going to be very different by 2030. And I would not like our people to be very different. I would like our people to still acknowledge the small things and blessings, to hold true to our culture and our values, to stay humble and be gracious about our blessings, and not to let arrogance be what we are known for. But the love and hospitality of our people must be the abiding spirit of the growth and development. And that is why I spend so much time in this project of national unification, the One Guyana concept, the revival of Guyana, of Georgetown. Because everything must reflect who a Guyanese or what a Guyanese represent. Our environment must speak about who we are. The way we manage our responsibility on climate must speak about who we are. The way we manage our wealth must speak about who we are. And the values we hold dear to us must speak about who we are. And no amount of wealth or growth can define that. It is each of us who will have to define that for ourselves. So today, as we celebrate this new piece of the puzzle that we're building together. You know, this morning about 1:30 a.m. I was on the gas to energy site, looking at all the workers. They'll be working 24/7 for the next couple of months. And then coming down the road, looking at other projects that our contractors got off the site at 11 in the night and 12 in the night. They will have to step it up to get those projects done. And that is what I meant when I said we'll convert 5 years into 10 years of work. Because of the man hours, the productivity that we must put in, this effort that we have to put in to get it done. And Lars was one of those persons from day one who came to me. And I don't know if you remember, but I asked him, ask me all the questions you have. The questions about me, the questions about the government, the vision, what we represent, and tell me everything that you think we're saying wrong. And I've done that to many people, because I wanted them to give me an opportunity to explain what we're doing. And from then, he has been a constant part of the vision, and a very supportive part of the vision. It is not this building alone that defines Lars. It's the ecosystem he has been able to build around this. One of the first persons who ventured out into training Guyanese and having that training done right here in Guyana. one of the first persons who understood how important standards were and certification, and pushing standard and certification to the extent that we now have one of the finest training centers for deep sea operations in the entire Western Hemisphere, and maybe the top 3% in the world. There's no other country that found oil that can boast of something like that in the time frame we have placed it. Because fundamentally, we understand that the building of this is for our people. Ensuring that in all of this, they have the best opportunity. That is why I'm here also, to celebrate that class. Celebrate that commitment and that work. Celebrate all in this 500 plus acres of development. I know some of them here. They sold all their assets and took all the money from the sale and their savings and put it into investment within this 500 acres. Some people look on from the outside and say, oh boy, that's the Veras. But trust me, a lot of commitment, risk, hard work went into what we're seeing here. When at that time the government started the Eccles development, I was the Minister of Housing. And we started the building out of that development, and in the design of the project, I ensured that an industrial estate was created at Eccles, and we left the reserve for what is known as the Heroes Highway and the Ogle Highway and what you call Red Road. We left 21 reserves. We didn't have oil then. We had a vision. I remember that I was taken to the Privileges Committee in Parliament because of the sale of land by Guy Sufi. And I was accused of giving the poor people the backlands. And I stood up in Parliament for over an hour and I spoke about the vision, about what that will be, about the value it will create, about wealth transfer, about income substitution, about property substitution in growth and development. None of it made sense. None of it made sense. There are people in this gathering today who we had to motivate to invest in pieces of land at what was then the Swamp Providence area. I remember them telling me that this is a bad decision. And I said to them, 10 years from now, I hope when you see the result, you will speak differently publicly. Joe Hamilton was very much a part of the parliament and government, I can tell you. In everything in life, there is risk. But those risks must be calculated. Everything in life, Anita, requires bold thinking. It requires a level of imagination that will allow people to doubt you. My father taught me a very important philosophy. He said, smile at your haters and let your results fill them with love. Very deep statements that guide my life. So many times you see people who you believe hate me a lot in my company, and I will be smiling with them because they have to go home, continue to hate me, and live with the fact that I smiled with them. And why do I say this? I say this because sometimes in our society, negativity can be the weight and burden that destroy the positive energy and the positive direction of our country. Without even given an idea, an opportunity to be fertilized and grow and blossom, it will be kicked and tugged and pushed aside. When I spoke about the building of the second terminal at the airport, someone said, who will use it? So we'll build it when traffic increases then. And already, the study just came back, said to me that maybe we have to look at expanding that terminal too, with what they're projecting. But it is not just a terminal 2. You'll be walking through the embodiment of our country. When you walk through Terminal 2, you'll be thinking about the Amazon, about biodiversity. You'll be seeing it, you'll be feeling it, you'll be hearing it. People will come just to walk through Terminal 2. Just as people in transit in some countries just to pass through the airport. Because these are the first impression that tells the story of our country. There is no slowing down by the grace of God for us in the next 10 years, 15 years. Because what we're doing is placing the ideas and the opportunities that will be accelerated in the world by 2035 today. Let me give you an example. 10 years ago, the whole world, the debate was, how are we going to end fossil fuel? How are we going to change the energy dynamics of the world? And then suddenly today, the world is saying, where the hell are we going to get the energy to power AI and the data centers that will be the future? So from that thought to today, where we don't have the energy to power the future. Because the data centers that must be built out, because of the direction the world is going into to survive, AI and digitization and computing requires scales of energy at unbelievable scale. Unbelievable scale. And you have to achieve that scale of energy while you still have 50% of the people in Africa without energy and energy poverty around the world. So sometimes we can have a gap about the realistic journey or the unrealistic journey, or what are the facts that are before us. Every country in the world knows that we have to invest in digitization and in AI if we are to remain competitive. That requires computing ability. Levels of computing at unbelievable scale. We're not talking about building hospitals now. We're talking about building hospitals with the infrastructure to allow a surgeon from Germany, India, the US, to perform surgery in Guyana through robotics. We are not tinkering on the edges. By the end of next year, whilst the world is now moving to that, we will have that right here in Guyana. We are already investing in that because our future healthcare will have it already. Pathology examination. You used to take 4 months to get the result. Imagine you have someone you love with cancer. They go in and you have to send that result to come back 4 months. We have brought it down because of digitization to 3 days. Your beautiful country has done this. That is what we are doing. We have brought it down to 3 days. In another 6 weeks, we'll be meeting with the private sector and launching 4 government apps that is going to allow you to conduct government business in a transparent, productive, and efficient manner, whilst the system is built to ensure those tasked with giving the service will have a level of accountability that is digitally tracked. So it is not only about us asking the private sector to make these investments. It is also about us in government holding ourselves accountable with the use of this technology. So if you look, someone said to me, you know, these data centers, they use a lot of cheap power. I say yes, but do you know the value creation of these data centers? Imagine if we have all the data space for all our computing needs and our whole digital platform in Guyana, that we don't have to pay for that, we'll have it free. Imagine Guyana having a hyperscale data center that can bring all of the innovation to Guyana, that can create a computing space for the entire region right in Guyana, that can be the sovereign storage space for the entire region right here in Guyana. We're talking about the built out of fintech and all of these things. All of it is dependent. The entire modernization and digitization of the entire region is dependent on these investments. We can take the simple route and decide to just pay for these investments or make the sacrifice now. Make the investment, have the investment, because these are not cheap investments. At a minimum, a data center coming in would have to be about an investment of 2 to 3 billion US dollars. In another 3 months or less, we'll be defining a number of projects that we will come to the private sector with, our diaspora, and say, here is it. We are presenting the fertilizer plan, opportunity in the gas to shore, and then bringing all our truckers together to understand that a new form of trucking will be transporting liquids from the gas project, and accepting a realistic path to long-term sustainable revenue generation. What do I mean? A path in which the government co-invests with the private sector. Government equity can be deferred equity, and the private sector accept maybe a 10% return. Whereas safe vehicle, safe investment, safe return, sovereign in that is national in nature. That is what we want to create. And therefore, no banking giving you 10%, yeah, 2%, 1.5, 0.5. He ain't giving me his secret, you know. But that is what we want to do. The development of the National Development Bank that we are creating, just imagine. And this, sorry, I'm going to stop here. The coconut water fresh, it won't spoil. This Guyanese coconut water always fresh. Imagine a small business owner needing $10 million now in the banking system. They have to get the collateral, And because the loan is classified as commercial, the interest rate might be 7%, 8%. Or more, right? So I see my friend here. Now imagine, and these are great guys, and not a good example. Started from nothing, developed himself, invested in certification, and today, one of the great examples in the oil and gas sector. So many of you guys I can point to, because I sit and listen to your stories. So, the same $10 million, first of all, the small man ain't got no collateral. Imagine now if we are able to give that person, of course we assess, we help them to develop their proposal, give them the technical expertise, $3 million at 0%. So immediately, we take away the 10 or 20% requirement from the bank. They have 0%, so the risk of the loan also comes down. And in exchange, we say to the commercial bank, you get the same treatment as you get for low-income housing, for loans up to this value. But in exchange, for this $3 million and that, you bring down the interest rate and you reduce the collateral requirement. So immediately, $10 million is accessible to that person with zero investment from themselves, $3 million backing from the development bank at an interest rate of less than 3% or 3%. That is what we are building. That is what we are building. So, I say all of this because I know I'm speaking with persons around here who understand what we want to achieve. And Lars, I'm not only here because of this accomplishment. I'm here as a statement that we are grateful for you and all those who embrace this vision and support it by demonstrating confidence through your investment, confidence through your writing and public pronouncement, and being part of that positive framework that is advancing our country's development. May God bless your investment and make it achieve all that you hope for. May God bless all those who have invested in our country and continue to invest in our country. And may all of us be blessed with fulfilling lives and a healthy future. Thank you very much.
Because the same people that ask you one day, how are you going to do it, will ask you on the day, how you did it. And I have to jump in here. I think I shared with you the other day a statement in a news article that said, from where I stand, it feels like we're building without a blueprint. Well, I don't know. Perhaps it is true. Vision is a matter of the heart. Sight is just for the eyes. And for those who can't see the vision, I would say perhaps you haven't looked hard enough. I think nobody can disagree that we don't have a vision, we don't have a plan. It's crazy. You say 5 years and 10, no, I think where you're taking us, or where this is taking us, countries have taken 50 to 100 years to accomplish with more population, more resources than we have. So I am proud to be a Guyanese, and I am so excited for what is to come here. And Mr. President, thank you so much for leading that charge. And thank you to investors and entrepreneurs and all the other visionary investors and entrepreneurs in our midst for supporting that vision. So we've come to the critical moment, the ribbon cutting ceremony. And I'd like to invite His Excellency, Dr. Ramsar, Mr. Mangal and his family to step over to the ribbon cutting area so we can officially declare this vision open. Thank you.
We'll support. We'll support. Only hands. Well done. Take the mango. Mango shots already. Yeah, okay. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here, Sophie. No, don't you go get through that. That's right. Ready? Steady. 1, 2, 3. All right. And up. You have to join us.